Hey, everybody, welcome back to Local Living with Reid Real Estate Team. We are so excited to bring to you today an episode on how to protect yourself as a buyer.
What kind of advice would you offer our buyers as a first step to protect themselves when buying a home?
So there are some early things that buyers can do. I mean, the number one thing is to make sure that they go ahead and get fully pre-approved before going out and taking a look at a house. I mean, it's just going to eliminate so many potential hurdles down the road, whether, there's a blip on their credit they don't know about, or, maybe they're a self-employed individual and they need to get their tax returns, another year's tax returns together, in order to get qualified. That is number one, making sure they have a full understanding of their financial ability to purchase a home if they're obtaining a mortgage. That'd be number one. The number two thing, which you do such a good job of having a buyer consultation and helping them uncover and talk about their needs on the front end, what their standards are, what they don't want to sacrifice, or what they're willing to if they find a house that may have other things that they like. So I'd say really kind of getting that standard list together. When finding a home after they found a home, obviously we're going to want to protect them with certain contingencies if they need a due diligence period with enough time to cover all the inspections, which we'll talk about in a second, whether they need a finance or appraisal contingency, or maybe they have a house to sell and we need to make a contingent based on that. So I'd say there's structurally the contract, we will make sure that, structurally buyers need to make sure that they're covered in the contract for certain periods.
Great. So within the contract, let's talk about those protections that we put in place for them, starting with inspections. What type of inspections should our buyers think about?
Yeah, a general home inspection is obviously the number one. And fortunately, most of our inspectors that we recommend have add-ons to their inspections for that. They'll segment out specialists for certain things. So if we know that the house has a little bit of an aged roof, obviously we're going to have a professional roofer go out and take a look at the house and give an evaluation. If the HVACs aren't brand new, we might have an HVAC contractor go out, take a look at it. A termite inspection to a pest inspection, a radon inspection. I would always recommend, if their house doesn't have a radon mitigation system, that be done. So there are certain add-ons that may cost the buyer a little bit more on the front end, but man, we can save a lot of headache by making sure that they know exactly the type of home that they're buying and the condition.
There's even things like septic tank inspections, as well as pool inspections.
Yeah, those are pretty standard around here. I mean, most every home has a septic inspection, so doing either a sewer line scope or a septic line scope, including a tank, possibly even having it serviced at the inspection. Again, these aren't cheap things to do, and yet they're very valuable when somebody does want to protect what they're buying, or protect when somebody wants to have the information that will protect them.
Okay, so then next, after the inspection, an appraisal.
Yeah, another thing beyond the just general home inspection or our due diligence period, in order to uncover anything that may be, need to be uncovered during a home inspection, is the appraisal. So if you're obtaining a loan on the house, your lender most likely is going to require an appraisal. If the appraisal comes in low, you kind of don't want to be stuck having to bring more money to the table in order to fill a gap, in order to meet the purchase price. And so having an appraisal contingency can be pretty vital.
Yeah, I agree. And then let's go into what happens after you get out of your due diligence period. You're getting to the closing table.
Yeah, so we're past due diligence, finance, appraisal, contingency periods. I'd say the biggest thing that we rely on is our closing team. So our attorneys, making sure that they're explaining everything like they need to at the closing table or slightly before, making sure that we have reviewed the numbers going into the closing so there's no surprises to anybody. And then, title insurance. So knowing the difference between a lender's title insurance policy to an owner's title insurance policy is something that we highly recommend. And some of our buyers don't want to do it, but I'd say the heavy majority, and what we highly recommend, is that you do get a title insurance policy.
I agree. And what about a home warranty? Is that something that you would recommend to buyers?
Kind of depends. I think that it's sort of a little bit, I would be flexible on that if the other terms of the contract were more important. So if I was able to negotiate maybe other things, maybe money in lieu of certain repairs, or if I really felt like some of the systems were a little aged in the house, then yeah, that could be something we would definitely throw in there. Yeah, so hopefully it may not be earth-shattering information here, and yet sometimes people will get into contracts too quickly without enough time to do inspections or to think about the add-on inspections that they might need on the type of home that they're buying. And so it is important things to discuss. And it's certainly important things to discuss with the agent that you use ahead of going out and taking a look at houses. So hopefully you guys found that information to be valuable and helpful. And I'm Reid Casey. This is Catherine Williams. We are always here to serve you in buying and selling. If you guys have any questions, please let us know. Otherwise, please hit that subscribe button if you're watching on YouTube, and we are on all available podcast platforms. And we look forward to seeing you next time.